Hello, this is Bill Clodsey. We're starting up a top 8 limited PTQ finals draft. So I went 7-2 and I'm 8th place, and here we are. Experimental Frenzy is quite powerful. I am going to pick that here over Glowspore Shaman, Captain, and some other stuff. This is a strong way to start. Hopefully we can stay in red. The other top 8 competitors: Amiel Tenenbaum, The Business, Snuck in there, Aragon, whose deck was absurd, Lenny, Schnobulant, and Tangram. So good luck to everyone, especially me. But yeah, I won't be talking too much. I'll just be trying to focus on what's going on here. We're passing a lot of Boros. I think we're going to try to be Izzet with this pick, but open Niv Mizzet or something. What could wheel here? 1, 2, 3. We'll have to pay attention to what wheels out of this pack. How many Boros cards wheel? There's 5. Peacemaker could come back. I expect Cover Up to disappear. If Never Happened comes back, that's a sign. Hopefully Altitude comes back. You get an extended first pick time, so use it. See if anyone's picked yet. 3 people have picked, so I'm not alone in taking my time here. Frenzy, yeah, if this was earlier in the format, I wouldn't take Frenzy. I might just take Glowspore Shaman. But now I know this is pretty powerful. Shaman, yeah. The one card to risk this on would be Shaman, given that there's very little Golgari here. But any flavor of red is going to be good with the Frenzy. Alright, make sure you actually pick it though. Divine Visitation, now that's interesting. An uncommon is missing. We're being passed to by 10 grams. Visitation is good. I don't think it's very good with Experimental Frenzy, however. Maybe it's early enough in the draft that we can try that. League Guildmage is quite powerful. And then we're passing Direct Current, Sonic Assault, and Sure Strike. Yeah, after taking the Frenzy, I'm going to take the Guildmage. Lazav. It's kind of late for Lazav. We could go into Grixis, just pick a lot of gates. Selesnia's coming around. What's not coming around? Capture Sphere is pretty good with Experimental Frenzy. I'm going to pass this Gird for battle and steer people away from what I want to be doing, which I guess at this point is like some weird Grixis deck. Hopefully someone falls into the Divine Visitation trap. It can definitely be powerful, but you need a whole deck for it. A whole draft for it, pretty much. 1000-Year Storm, no. Just a bit too early for that. Unexplained Disappearance and Sonic Assault. Both of those are pretty good. 1000-Year Storm's going to wheel. No one's going to try that in this important draft. Wrong gate for us. Leapfrog would be fine. I'm not actually sure here between the Disappearance and Sonic Assault. But I'll go for Sonic Assault. This just is a lot of burn damage, and it's instant, so you can play it off of your stuff. No red here. We're still passing Boros. The clear pick here is Dimir Guildgate, given our start. It makes me wish I had not taken Sonic Assault, and that I'd taken the bounce spell instead. But yeah, gate looks good. Passing Take Heart, Lotleth Giant, Sprouting Renewal. I always forget this thing has Convoke, so it's a lot better than I give it credit for. Locket and Centipede. It's going to be a weird one. Alright, past this Healer's Hawk. That's a good sign for somebody. Leapfrog, another Dimir Guildgate, and Gruesome Menagerie. It looks like Izzet is not open. Maybe Golgari is open. Gruesome Menagerie has a lot of upside. I mean, you get back Lazov, you get back your Guild Mage, maybe you get back your whatever, but I'm going to grab that here. And it's possible we give up on all red, but it's also likely we get rewarded with red in the next pack. Generous Stray. Gird for Battle and Healer's Hawk. So someone's going to have the nuts Boros deck for sure. It's not going to be me. Yeah, you could take the crab here. I'm going to take the Lotleth Giant. Oh, interesting. Interesting pick. Disdainful Stroke is one I quite like, and Glaive of the Guild Pact. I'm going to take Glaive here. I don't really want more than one Disdainful Stroke, and we can start prioritizing gates, and if we're in 3 colors, it should be easy enough to pick up some. It also plays very well with like the 1/3 Drake. Okay, wow. Glowspore Shaman Wheels, which is a big sign on this table. A lot of the Izzet stuff disappeared. 4 of the Izzet cards. Not Izzet, I'm sorry, Boros. But then Maximize Altitude is back. Well, if no one else is interested in Golgari, if Golgari is completely open on the table, I want to be in it. Barrier of Bones and Selesnya Guildgate. Let's go for that barrier. I'm not 100% sure about this, but it helps against Boros at the very least. So who's likely to be Boros? All 4 people we're passing to? Amiel, the Business, Snuck, and Aragon. Never Happened. I do want a Never Happened, but Portcullis Vine is more important now that we're leaning towards Sultai. So I'll take the Vine here. Red is likely to be open in the next pack. Ooh, Spinal Centipede and Thousand Year Storm for what it's worth. But yeah, I'll take the Centipede. And now we have a couple good 1-drops, a couple good 2-drops, and a 3-drop for Gruesome Menagerie. Ooh, another Centipede. That's so great. All right. This looks like the open deck. I like this much more than the cat. Necrolisk, yeah. Yeah, not as super excited about it, but we might even play Frenzy. Oh boy. Etrata, yes please. I think I think we can kind of just give up on red for the time being. If cards like Glowspore Shaman are wheeling on the table, and we have a little bit of blue but not a ton of it, we were past Lazav's second pick. It looks like Golgari with a hint of blue. District Guide is also very good. I doubt that will wheel. There's probably 2 or 3 Boros drafters and a Selesnya drafter on the table, so, you know, Sultai is the place to be. The rest are Izzet, maybe 2 Izzets, 2 Dimir. There's just everyone at the table. So in the other direction, we're passing Cratermaker, Bodyguard, 3 Izzet cards, Assault, Guildgate, Electromancer. I'm sure we'll wheel one of those because the Izzet player is also interested in Cratermaker, Sure Strike, and Bodyguard. So there's a lot of red being passed here. But Etrata is good enough, and it is consistent enough with this core that I'm not going to go back into this core. But I'm also going to use this time to sort of get familiar with the pack. Hired Poisoner, Child of Night. These are the cards we want to wheel. We wouldn't be sad with Crushing Canopy. We'd love to get District Guide back. But we have to remember that there's, 4, 5, 6... There's about 6 cards that an Izzet or Boros player would take. So if 2 wheel, that's not outside of expectation. Lazav, Etrata. If Etrata dies, we can copy it and then exile something else. Try to quasi-duplicate it or something. Okay, I'm going to take Etrata. Sacred Foundry. Oh, that's worth a ticket. Maybe we take that. This pack is not actually very good for us, but it has a Golgari Guildgate, and that's a high priority. So yeah, let people fight over the Boros. There's just a ton of it. Another Cratermaker. Fortunately, that's not that good against us. It can kill Glaive. It can kill Glowspore Shaman, but yeah. Definitely take the gate. Make sure we actually pick it. Interesting. Interesting pack. Because there's 3 cards here that are pretty cool. Guild Summit, Gatekeeper Gargoyle, and Deadly Visit. It has to be the Deadly Visit here. Cards like Guild Summit have a tendency to wheel unless someone knows what they're doing, sort of. And, maybe someone knows what they're doing, but they're in Boros and they don't want to try it. The Gatekeeper Gargoyle can go quick, but it's more expensive than Deadly Visit. And this kills it. So, for a lot of reasons, I think Deadly Visit is correct here. Oh boy. Crackling Drake. That'll be exciting for somebody. Ocarina Assassin is exciting for us. That's another good reason to play the Glaive. Menace is a little awkward with all creatures have to block it, but if they have 2 creatures, they have to assign a legal block, which includes 2 or more creatures blocking it. We'll steer away from the good Dimir cards here and the counter magic, but we could certainly wheel something. Also of note, the last pack we did not wheel Child of Night or the 1/1 Death Toucher. Interesting. Disinformation Campaign. And another Glaive of the Guild Pact. Disinformation Campaign is good in Dimir, but I'm not sure we're in Dimir. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not going to take Glaive. I might take the campaign though. We have 3 Golgari cards and 2 Dimir cards, and just a couple ways to surveil. I'll take the campaign. Wow, this Phantasm is coming late. And it's better than Generous Stray, it's better than Barrier of Bones. It's better than Muse Drake. Muse Drake is one I might like to play with Glaive, but yeah, apparently Dimir is open from both directions, so that's where I want to be. Kind of jumping about here. Is it Guildgate, Disdainful Stroke, Notion Rain, and Unexplained Disappearance? Ooh, that's tough. The first Notion Rain is pretty important. I'm just going to grab that. But I would like, at least one copy of each of those. Dimir Locket, Narcomoeba, and Mephitic Vapors. Right, maybe Golgari is just being cut somewhat here. It's not Narcomoeba. The card could be fun. I believe it's Mephitic Vapors here to protect us from whatever nonsense there might be. Ah, more Izzet is coming back. More than I expected. So there were 6 cards and 4 of them came back. I'll take the gate. We still have this Frenzy which we could splash. Another Barrier of Bones. Not perfect, but pretty efficient with Disinformation Campaign. The rest of these cards are not great. Siege Worm. Guild Summit is back. You need a lot of guild gates to make that work. It's that or the Gateway Plaza. I'm going to take Gateway Plaza. We could be in 4 colors here if just a splash for 2 of them. Ooh, that's tough though. Devious Cover-Up, nice. This is coming late. Yeah, I think we're still pretty far from being red. So that means 3 gates for the Glaive. Unclear if that's enough. Another Plaza, sure. 4 gates. I don't like main decking Mephitic Vapors. Wow, another Barrier of Bones. I don't even like this card, but that's what's coming. Helps you surveil back to a Trotta. And if it's surveil 1 and then like draw a card and they discard a card, that all gets very good. They do get better when you have Portcullis Vine. Usually I edit out long segments like this. I may do that here. Oh, is it Guildgate? All right, we'll be back for the last pack. Pack 3. That is an Azoni. That is nuts. That's got to be my pick here. We've got a good start to a Sultai nonsense deck. Portcullis Vine. Azoni is 1 heart. That is one tough 1000-eyed Shaman. Passing Indrik. Deadweight. Someone will get Stalwart. Someone will get Healer's Hawk and Bodyguard. With all these Healer's Hawks, I think we're gonna main deck this Vapors. But yeah, that'll be a Zoni for sure. You get these 1/1 insects. Put some of this over here. So maybe Glaive is good with those. I want to make sure we see how our creature curve is doing. Maybe we wheel Golgari Guildgate. That would help a lot with the Zoni. Zoni's expensive. Only one less than Lotleth Giant. The more defensive we are, the better Lotleth Giant will be. We're also looking for sacrifice outlets. The Portcullis Vine is a pretty good one. We're doing okay here. We can even copy Izoni. You don't get extra things, but you do get the sacrifice outlet. Yeah, not bad. We've opened some good rares here. Frenzy, Etrata, and Izoni. Not all in the same color, but I'm not complaining. That's what gates are for. 30. Yeah, me and Schnobulent are the slow drafters here. I guess Amiel. Okay, let's take the card we want. Severed Strands. That is exactly what this deck wants. It makes cards like Barrier of Bones better. It makes everything better. And this is an overall weak pack. For us, anyway. Circuitous Route, that'll wheel. Hitchclaw Recluse is pretty important to get one of those. I'm not sure we will, but Severed Strands also just deals with anything and gains us the life we need. So yeah, that's such a... It's such a good reason to have these Barrier of Bones. Definitely picking that up. Glaive's kind of a 5-drop. Bounty of Might. We might want to secure one of these Disdainful Strokes, to be honest. We have a lot of spells. That's another problem. However, Bounty of Might is a good one. Yeah, sort of the biggest payoff here. I'd love to get another Guildgate, but I'm going to take this. Discovery Dispersal, pretty easy to use. It definitely fits in our colors, whether we're Golgari, Dimir, Sultai, or anything in between. Another couple good removal spells, the Tribunal and the Justice Strike, and a creature we kind of want. But I guess we're just stuck with all these 0-3s for creatures. And yeah, we could end up just back in a serious control deck. No Burglar Rats. That's what's getting me bummed out about this draft. Never happened. A second Devious Cover-Up. Ionize. No creature that we can really use. This is how I got into the top 8, was with a couple devious cover-ups. Might try the same thing here. We have a lot of early stuff. Just play off these cover-ups. A little awkward, but I think it'll be fine. And we already have one Notion Rain. That's got to be enough, especially with all the aggressive decks in the format. White isn't a color we need, so I'm going to go for Pitiless Gorgon in this pack. That's pretty straightforward there. Coming to near the end. Crawl Swarm, Darkblade Agent. Sadly, we don't have very many ways of surveilling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess that's enough, but the Crawl Swarm is a nice win condition, and it kills flyers. Another cover-up, and a Passwall Adept, and a Dimir Guildgate. I'm going to take Passwall Adept here. It's just a card we definitely want, and it's also a creature, which is something we're kind of missing out on, a 2-drop creature at that. Sorry, Dimir Guildgate. I'm going to go for Passwall Adept. And then what? Dimir Informant? Or the Bat? Let's go for Dimir Informant. This is a nice creature to scry with. Surveil, rather. Take the Recluse here. Crushing Canopy is interesting. We don't have access to this effect yet. I think we have to take Crushing Canopy. Another Gorgon over Siege Worm. We kind of got there. We have enough playables. It'll be tough to build this deck. Anything I don't want to play against in particular? Not really. It's all pretty benign. Moodmark Painter. I don't really want to play against another Altitude, but the Painter might have upside. Okay, 10 minutes to build, like a typical draft. The interesting thing is we could splash Experimental Frenzy easily, or even League Guildmage. Maybe we keep that in mind. Then we'll have 6 gates for all of our stuff. Bounty of Might. That could be very strong with Etrata, who's unblockable. It's pretty good with Ocaran Assassin. It looks like green is our splash. I don't want to be splashing for Portcullis Vine. Well, maybe I do, actually. Let's just use it for the Surveil. That helps with the campaign enough. It keeps us alive, and it's another creature to trigger the disinformation campaign. A lot with Giant's a pretty early cut. Maybe we don't need both cover-ups. This deck doesn't just go through the deck like that. I'm worried about all the counter magic. But we have some of our own counter magic. We have enough bombs. We don't have too many ways to recur them, but the one devious cover-up should be enough to help with that. And we kind of got there on the Surveil. Six pieces of Surveil? Seven, plus the Menagerie can get creatures back. To keep going with that. I'm a little too scared to splash the red, honestly. It's really just for the Frenzy and the Guild Mage, which are great, but our deck doesn't need that. It's a little awkward. $17, 9, 5. Yeah, a lot of this is pretty late. I wonder if we need Glowspore Shaman. It seems like it doesn't often come down when we want it to. But it's one of our few 2-drops, so I guess it earns its spot that way. We can get a land back, and that's okay. 5, 6. It's kind of awkward though. We don't need the land back. We could cut it and Gruesome Menagerie. In favor of Mephitic Vapors and Devious Cover-Up. That's 13 creatures, then we don't really even want Izoni. I think I like it here. The barriers of bones really help us a lot. I'm not sure this is the best glaive deck, but it is a glaive deck, and that's pretty good. Glaive plus bounty. We're going to steal some wins that way, hopefully. That's the idea. 14 creatures. I think that's enough. Izoni makes a bunch of creatures, even if it's just 2 or 3, that should be fine. Alright, well, wish me luck. Win this draft and... Shoot, that's a pretty nice prize. Flight to a Pro Tour. Get it some kind of appearance fee. Here we go. Okay. Round 1. Keep this hand. See how Boros our opponent is. They chose to be on the play. Looks like they're pretty Boros. Really should have played that Mephitic Vapors in the main deck. Oh no, it's Selesnya. Or Naya. Stalwart, that start is pretty good. We do not have much to compete with it at the moment. Finding a swamp. Tough here between Passwall Adept and Spinal Centipede. I'm gonna play Passwall Adept. Blocking a creature 2 turns in a row is kind of the same as trading with it. They're just getting 4 in here, no problem. We'll have Etrata next turn and Crawl Swarm the turn after. Hopefully that's enough. They're playing Amara and Harpooner. That's a lot of stuff. Etrata's one thing, but 2 creatures in play is also pretty appealing here. They kind of have to be careful how they attack. The Stalwart doesn't pump anyone. We could block the Centipede on the Stalwart and use that as a trick to pump another blocker, like the Adept. This start is absurd, by the way. It's just 5 premium creatures. That's what you get if you're the only Selesnya drafter, I guess. So we have not everybody coming in. Another Healer's Hawk. Well, that's scary. Again, we could play 2 cards, or we could play a flying blocker. If we do that, they can get in something like 5 here. Put us to 4, and then we'll have 2 blockers for the next turn and go to 2. But that's better than no flying blockers here. Yeah, I think we have to get that flying blocker. The other option is Etrata. And then try to take out the Healer's Hawk with attacking, and it keeps back all of their ground creatures. Just hope they don't have too many tricks here. Or even another Harpooner. Something pre-combat. That's not great for us. I expect the black splash is for something like Finality, or maybe just some other Golgari removal spell, uncommon, rare. Hard to say. But this might be their only swamp in the deck for something like Finality. Maybe it's a fight spell. Yeah, prey upon, kill the big guy, attack here, get in 6. We only have 1 block that makes sense, and then this block is not good enough. I'm going to put this on top because it doesn't matter. Pass it here. Okay, down a game in match 1 of the finals. Not a good place to be. But we have some interaction here. Crushing Canopy and Mephitic Vapors can come in. We don't need another Barrier of Bones. We can cut Notion Rain. Yeah, it's just those birds and tutus. Bunch of birds, bunch of tutus. We still want the cover up. We still want Gruesome Menagerie and Azoni and Bounty of Might and all this stuff. Even Discovery's pretty good. It's like a less painful version of Notion Rain. Yeah, submit like this. This time I will be on the play. Mephitic Vapors is strong enough here that I'll keep, even though we don't have our blue source yet. Golgari, okay, more black splash. Maybe a hawk, maybe crawl harpooner. Not too big of a deal. That's why we have a spinal centipede, or better yet, an informant. I'm gonna play the gate here. That looks weird when we have the centipede, but next turn we could do Phantasm and Centipede, or Phantasm and Mephitic Vapors. Or Phantasm and Informant, all of which would be pretty good. It's definitely Phantasm and something. And I think it is that Centipede here. So that's one reason for the splash. Midnight Reaper is a nice splash. This is why our gates didn't come back to us. I have to make this trade. We get a counter. Their Reaper keeps drawing them cards. Maybe they'll play 2 Hawks this turn. No, 1 Patrol. Informant and Adept. We don't want either of these. We need to find an answer. If anything, we want a second green source, but we should be able to find those. Maybe we can get aggressive here with Mephitic Vapors onto an empty board to start attacking with Thoughtbound Phantasm. Selesnya Guildgate, 6-turn clock. If we attack with a 5-5, a 4-4 this turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. No, they can't block it unless they have a pump trick. Even then, I don't think it would do it. Yeah, let's get aggressive, I guess. Huh. Graveyard, and what about cover up? In general, I think we have to top that. They might just draw another card with the Stray. Somewhat aggressive on our part. We have to be careful about getting a green source. We have 4 left in the deck, and we need a second one for both Bounty of Might and Azoni. Luminous Bonds is really good here. We do have a Crushing Canopy. somewhere. Thank goodness we have enough time this game. Can't afford to give our stuff unblockable. It also looks like we're ready to double block the Reaper or something. Patrol's getting in there. I doubt they'll play around counter magic. Maybe they are. Or maybe their hand is just very reactive. Try this again. They might have the X spell, which would get them 6 1/1s. Tapping out against that is scary. But I'll do it. We don't know about it. That's a mythic. Atrada at least deals with the patrol. Ah, they didn't have it. I'm sure they use it there if they have it. Patrol comes in, puts us at 9. No blockers here. Prey upon no more unblockable creatures, well, except Atrada. That's pretty cool. What do you suppose we exile? If we get the chance, that is. I think we exiled the patrol. We have to exile something. Either way, they won't get the card or the life. But then the board is stable again. Oh, interesting. They want the card here. No. Oh. I would have preferred they traded off. And then we have to think about when we counter a spell, what do we get back? Probably Pass Wall Adept, and that's it. We don't really want Gateway Plaza. We kind of do. This is really interesting. They must have a trick here. This clears their entire board. Okay, they draw a card. They go to 10. And pass turn. Whew, okay. Yeah, I don't know what to get back. That's the thing. Maybe nothing. Maybe Gateway Plaza. Now that we have Azoni too. We don't want to get a creature back. Wow, they've got a lot of lands and they're not doing anything. Overgrown Tomb. Okay, leaving it untapped. That'd be hilarious. There's a Trotta again. Well, if they're not going to do anything, I'm going to cast a Trotta. This time we can hold up all the colors. Two hits, this is lethal. Sunhome Stalwart is fine. Did they just draw that, or were they holding it forever? Ah, Luminous Bonds. Ocarina Assassin. Sure. It gives them another turn to resolve something, but it's also, they haven't had much very good, so if we draw that untapped green, we have 2 untapped greens in the deck. We have enough to beat them next turn. Okay, here's the big monster, Siege Worm. Come on, Forest. Barrier of Bones. I don't hate that. Lazov? What does Lazov do? I think it does enough. Top that. Because it can copy creatures and draw some stuff itself. Oh, how do our blocks look? We'll probably block Siege Worm with the Assassin and something like Barrier of Bones. Oh, no attacks. That's good news. There's Lazov for us. Again, shields down, but that's kind of why we're doing this. Disinformation campaign. Yeah, let's top that. They must be holding something. And even though it leaves our shields down again, we could draw Island. We also have Lazov to copy Pitiless Gorgon, Parhelion Patrol. Okay. And at any time we could win here. I don't know what to copy. I think we copy Passwall Adept. Come on, Island. Island would be great here. Forest is also great. Forest means we can win next turn. Hopefully. They discard planes. They've been buffering themselves. Right, looks like the patrol comes in, and that's it this turn. Healer's Hawk. We have to go for it, don't we? They got 3 cards in their hand. They could have spot removal. 6, 7, 8. In which case we put stuff on Ocarina Assassin. I think everything has to attack here. They are blocking everything to that Ocarina Assassin. And they won't gain any life. Oh boy. Unless we make it bigger. So the play I like here is just pump, say, the Informant by a lot, and hope they don't have anything. Oh, shoot. They could have the destroy target tough creature. I hope this works. That's all we can do this turn. Oh, if they had that, it wouldn't matter which creature we did. So first strike, the assassin dies, and then that's 11 to them. I'm F6'd. We cannot do a thing. And we surely die if this doesn't work. Phew, okay. We live to fight another game. It's always good to overthink things. Alright. Glaive of the Guild Pact, a little worse against first strike. I'm going to submit like this again. I'll be back. Alright, here we go. Let's get a good draw, and let's hope they have to mulligan to Oblivion. It's usually the case. They keep. This hand is about as well as you can hope to get. Healer's Hawk, and that's about as well as you can hope to get. Let's start with Barrier of Bones. That much is obvious. I guess the gate play on turn 2 is not as obvious. That thing doesn't help us yet. It's okay, but we need an answer to this hawk if possible. The race plan is fine. Hopefully they miss a 2-drop. Okay. Since we got the land there, I kind of like Lazov. You can also copy Phantasm. Oh, I guess I should have waited on this. We could have copied Phantasm in response. Grave that. Still fine. Stray, not too bad. I don't want any of these things. Graveyard, graveyard. Okay. We can always pump Lazov up a little bit and then turn it into an adept. That's pretty silly. Luminous Bonds. Alright, still gets some value turning into an adept. That turns pretty easy. Eventually we'll put all these tapped lands into play. They have another Bonds for the Etrata. The thing I like about this game is that we're not already dead. Chamber Sentry. Ooh, that's exciting. Tribunal to exile Etrata. Well, can't win them all. Specifically this one. Right, so we will copy Passwall Adept. Vapors, that's pretty good here. Just use it. Kills the Hawk, gains them a card. Nothing else to do. Killing the Hawk is big though. Izoni. Dang, sure. So put Forest into the graveyard. Top Izoni. You know, I misplayed there by not turning Lazov into a monster, but then it'd be hard to turn it back. So yeah, this gets our super gate into play, which might be relevant. More green sources later for Izoni. Oh, Izoni's gonna be good. If only we can survive long enough. More creatures in the yard. Okay, here's Izoni. Get 5 little dudes. The problem is they can kill Azoni with Chamber Sentry. We still get the dudes, and that kills Chamber Sentry. And maybe they'll wait and not do it on their turn. So it looks like a stable board. Yeah, they're going to do it immediately, so we don't get to untap with the Azoni. But what they don't know, or what they probably know, is we can copy Azoni with Lazov now that we have a bunch of insects in play. Yeah, could be good. I mean, certainly it will be good, but it's just a question of whether we'll have the mana for it. Yeah, they just want to draw a card. But I don't want to take any more damage than I have to. And it does kill a creature, like it's not completely free for them. I had better make this into a Azoni now. So they don't have instant speed removal for it. It'd be nice to wait. But I don't think we can afford to. Waiting's good because we have another trick. Can't sacrifice itself to itself. See how the other matches are going while we're waiting here. All of them are going? No, Aragon beat Snuck. I played both Aragon and Snuck, the two people who beat me, so they're funny to see them duking it out. We're ahead on time here. I mean, you do want to be careful and deliberate to not make any mistakes, especially mechanical mistakes. So if you're used to a faster pace on my videos, I mean, we just block with one and sack it. They must have expected this, but it forces the issue, at least. And it's not like we have infinite creatures. They might have infinite cards in hand. This could be a Siege Worm. That is a Siege Worm. What do you know? Which information campaign would that be? Ooh, Severed Strands. That's a good one to kill the Reaper, but maybe we need to save it for a flyer. Luminous Bonds the Gorgon. Okay. So we take 5 here. We'll sacrifice the insect that blocks the Stalwart. We'll let these 2 insects trade off, and then we'll sacrifice Gorgon to kill Siege Worm, and hope they don't have too much after that. We gain 1 life, so what, we take it to 7 here. Land is good. Take heart there to survive. Gain some life. Okay. Tricky, tricky. District guide. Boy, it would be nice to draw something. Something good here. Spinal centipede. It's pretty good. I think we have to play that, yeah. And then draw them another card by killing Siege Worm. That's a must. And play a land. Whew. Okay, your turn. Seven, yeah, we'll trade with the Midnight Reaper here. And then hope we draw something. Zoni getting bigger and bigger, or Lazav, I should say. This was looking good, but they just had all the removal. And the big Siege Worms. Another Siege Worm. Is there anything in our graveyard that's worth copying here? No, the best thing is a Zoni. And we draw a Swamp. That's it for us. Well, yeah, just gotta make sure here. Double and triple check it. I'll play it out, but yeah. Amiel Tenenbaum takes it down. Thanks for watching. I guess we'll have to do better next time. Close one.